Hey guys, welcome back to another Swift programming logic tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be explaining what @escaping does in Swift and how to use it. So, don't know if I can name it that, but the escaping keyword basically just lets you create a completion for your functions. So what I mean by that is, you might have noticed if you're going to call an API, so let's just make a quick function here, and let's call it task that takes time, and we'll just do this, and then let's create a new function which is going to be like task that needs to wait. So this task needs to be done after this, so let's just say example calling an API need to get the data. So here let's do something like return we'll just actually wait, let me make a new variable up here, so let's call this API data. This is just an example, and we'll just set it to none there, and let me set a var. So we'll just set it to none there, and then when this takes some time, we can just set something to API data is equal to, here is some sample data, and then if we want to do this task after this, then usually what you'd have to do is you'd have to get the data, then once you've got it you can do this now, call this function, and now this will print, if you want to print the data, you can just print API data like that. Okay, so this is one way of doing it, where you have to wait for this function to finish before you can start this function, and we'll just wait. You should see that we get the correct API data, theoretical API data. We're not actually calling an API, but where is it? Oh yeah, and also forgot to launch this function in view did load, so I'll just do that quickly. But yeah, you can see this is printing the data which we had to wait to get this. So that's one way of doing it, but another way of doing it is to use .escaping. So to do that, it's quite simple. Instead of having to put this inside of here, what we can do is we can do something like in this, let's create a new parameter called completion, and we use @escaping function, like this syntax. And now what we can do is, once we've called this data, we can just call the completion thing over here, and once we've done this, when we call the function up here, what you can do then is, instead of just doing that, you can do this, and now you'll see it's almost become like a function inside of a function. So you don't need the curly brackets anymore, you can just do a task which needed to wait. So now once this is finished, we can call this function, which doesn't need a curly bracket because it doesn't have a completion, and we need to use self because it's inside of another function. But now we should get the same thing. So I guess one way I could test this is if I use a dispatch queue .main.async after like this, and .now plus, let's say, just 1 second, and we'll do this, and we'll just put this inside. So now what you should see, now we'll have to wait 1 second before we actually get our data. So we'll wait 1 second, there it is, and to make this even more accurate, let's print started calling. Then once we get the data, we can print .data, set the data, then call the completion, and you'll see as soon as our app starts, we calls that, and then it says got data, and it just prints this. I'll make this a bit clearer by making it 3 seconds, but yeah, you guys get the idea. So as soon as it starts calling the API, wait 3 seconds, and it says we got the data, and then it calls this function. So yeah, this is how you use @escaping. It's basically like completion handlers, and once you've done that, you can call this, which needed to wait until you finish that, and then it's there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future tutorial. Bye!